podcast. I am sorry that this podcast is delayed. I'm going to say too, the next two episodes I'm gonna review is going to be delayed, and there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this podcast. Deep Dive Podcast. I'm your host, Gamer Anton D. We are going to review The Last of Us episode 7. So we're gonna talk about Joe is still alive. So when he got stabbed, I was like, because I played the game, I'm like, oh, okay, he's still alive, man. Like, whatever you do, whatever you do to Joe, I'm gonna say he's still alive. All right. I played the game so many times. Like, I only played one time, but I'm actually replaying it still. So yeah, I'm basically rewatching everything right now. I'm like, oh, this happens and that happens. Also, yeah. So talking about Joe was still alive. It was like the episode, the opening episodes, I think, when Ali was trying to what's it called, save Joe or help Joe, recover. And then I like when Ali was like trying to help Joe recover that that Ali have a flashback of her past. Like I kind of like how they did that because I'm like, oh wow, okay, all right, that's interesting because I didn't play the prequel, so like, so I know this. I think this episode it's mostly some of the stuff that from that episode is from the prequel, and yeah, I be honest, the past of Ali was a little bit interesting. It was fascinating for me because like she was she was a student for the Fedra. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'm like, I know they said that in the past, but I think she was a student, and then they showed her kind of training to be a Fedra. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, now that's interesting. All right, I think because like they talked about it, and then now they show it. I'm now like a little bit like, oh, that's fascinating. And like, hey, they talked about it. And I'm like, okay. I think that was basically me. Like I was just like, oh, okay, I don't care. But like when they show it, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm interested. All right, okay. I'm still gonna talk about Ali's past. The friend named Riley is. I was like when she introduced herself. That was a little bit funny when she just like walked in through the window and then like I don't know like freaking put a pillow on her mouth or something. I like kind of like surprised, and then Ali just like freaking just like what? I was I was about to punch you or something like that. I was like, okay, all right, that's you got me there. You got me there. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit funny when she scared Ali, so I'm like, oh, okay, I understand, but that's really funny. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the mall. Like that was like the most fascinating me. The most fascinating about the show for me or the episode for me because like, all right, I don't know why, but like when I see like a mall like in the like in the TV show kind of abandoned, it's kind of looks fascinating for me because I'm like, okay, let's see what they did inside of the building. Like, and then when they went inside, I liked it. There's like some stores that is like real. Because I think like some shows they just put like a random name on a store and be like, that's that's a really popular store in this area. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah. Basically, yeah, I really like the mall. Like it's even though it's abandoned, I'm like, that's pretty cool to see. Yeah, and oh, so so at the end of the episode, I was like, when Ali and Rari got bit by the infected, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, okay, we already know about Ali's side. Like, she basically stayed alive, but that's so. I think that's interesting about her past. The right, she's what's it called? She was um, sorry. dating sh- or sorry, Ali was in a relationship with Ryrie, or did I say Ryrie? Oops, sorry. Yeah, Ryrie, and yeah, I found that interesting because when before they got infected, they was getting along, like getting along. They basically became a couple before the infected, and and then they both got infected by. Oh wait, they both got bite by the infected. And I was like, oh wow, that's kind of sad to see. That's it's sad to see that happen. So like, my thing is right about that is okay. Basically, Riley. I hope I'm saying that name right. Riley got infected. So like, I'm kind of curious, like if she's gonna show up. Like, there's a kind of like not like a she's still alive thing, but it's like she's infected, and like Ali have like a choice. She don't want to shoot her because she's still her friend. Like like when you see like a what's it called? No. Um, when shows got like the flashback, and then they don't want to shoot the person anymore because they got the flashback of them being together or them being friends. Of like, hey, if that happens, I'm not gonna be surprised though. But yeah, that's really interesting. The next episode though too, I'm a little bit when I saw the preview of the next episode, I was kind of I don't remember a lot from that preview because I remember a lot of other parts of Last of Us, the game, but I don't remember the next episode. So I'm kind of over here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a little bit surprised about it because I kind of don't remember it. So yeah, that's it for this podcast. If you guys like this podcast, hit the like button, and if you're a new person, hit the subscribe button because I will do more podcasts like this, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.